Report. My name's Hank Parrott. I'm your host today, and I've got a special guest in studio with me, Russ Cook with Russ Cook & Associates over in Brentwood, Tennessee. Russ is a board-certified estate planning attorney, and that's what we're going to be talking about today is a whole bunch of stuff regarding estate planning.
Yeah.
You know, I've been working with Russ now for over 15 years, I know, at least that. And one of the things that I've found is, and this goes back to the team approach, right? It's working with, if you've got a good tax person, I want to, this is where we work with your tax person. If you don't have one, I've got a good tax person for you, right? It's the same kind of thing with an attorney. If you've got someone that you work with, we'll work with them. However, if you don't, and in particular when it comes to estate planning, a lot of people may know an attorney, but that doesn't mean it's an estate planning attorney or someone that truly specializes in estate planning. Or when you go in the office and you say you're trying to find out the difference between trusts and wills, for instance, and they need to pull a book off the shelf and study up on it before they can help you. Not a good plan. Okay, there are a lot of attorneys out there that specialize in different things. Sometimes it's divorce, maybe it's real estate, maybe it's business law, whatever it is. That's what you want to seek out, is that specialist. It's kind of similar. People use the comparison between the medical profession and what you might need there. Well, when it comes to estate planning, Russ is a board-certified estate planning attorney, one of the few in the state, and he has been doing it for 25 to 30 years. 30 years
yeah,
now.
30 years.
30 years is your dad and your granddad.
Grandfather did it.
Cool.
Couldn't get away from it.
That's right.
That's my poor son.
I know, it's in his future, right?
Looking at the line and thinking, oh man.
Here we go, here's my future. I'm going to be an estate planning attorney. So but this is so important too, when it comes to planning, comprehensive planning, and this is one of the things that I stress so much. You have to look at the whole picture, and I'm going to, we'll talk a little bit about some of the things. Most recently, I had a client, and unfortunately, he had a stroke. And we were in the process of getting planning done, but it wasn't done, and so we were literally in the hospital. Thank goodness, that he did not. It wasn't so severe that he can't. He's recovering, and we were able to get a lot of that planning in place in the hospital. Not the ideal situation, but we were able to get things done. And this is one of those areas that I can't stress enough in terms of the importance of it. Getting that planning done, we were able to get, for him, put his family in a position where they could take care of him, make the necessary health decision that, he was having trouble communicating, obviously, with his stroke, but also as far as taking care of his financial stuff, paying his bills, taking care of everything that needed to be taken care of. And this is going to be an ongoing process. So though he's getting better, this is going to be many months, potentially years, that he's going to need help with his affairs. And just getting that planning in place could have made a huge difference. And like I said, we were fortunate to get it done, but imagine if he wasn't as competent to do that. So this is, and we're going to talk about, share some other stories with you today about people that we've actually, run into, the kinds of things we've done with regard to planning, but also so you can understand. And this goes to a husband and wife as well. If you've got, you may be thinking, if something happened, God forbid you did have a stroke, and I can't believe how many people in the last couple of months I've run across that have had strokes. And I'm talking about from a gentleman in his 30s to a couple of people in their 50s to those in their 70s and older. So it's not something that you can think, oh, I don't have to worry. You got to worry, okay? If you don't have things, or at least put things in order and have the peace of mind to know your family's going to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Russ, this is one of those areas, husband and wife in particular, the thinking is you've got it all handled, right? You're used to dealing with your family finances together. Mm-hmm. So you're able to just take care of things if something happens to the other. But this is one of those areas, if they had a stroke and they're not able to communicate or not able to, take care of things themselves, let's say it's the husband as an example, the wife, if she needs to tap into maybe some retirement account money to help cover things, because all kinds of things happen there. There goes the income, there goes, it really puts a stress on them, and yet she may not be able to do that.
That's true, and that's a very unfortunate circumstance, because you have a husband and wife that have been working together on their finances, but yet you may still have assets that, let's say, the husband owns in his name alone, like the retirement account is the best example. And I had another example where a client of mine, or actually hopefully potential client of mine was also a trustee of a trust that the wife could not access when he became disabled because of the fact that there wasn't any plan or documents in place. In this case, if there had been a power of attorney that he had executed along with a typical estate plan, it involves wills, possibly revocable living trust, healthcare power of attorney, living wills. If he had gone, met with me or an estate planning attorney and got all that taken care of, then she wouldn't have been in this horrible panic that she was in, trying to figure out how to access the funds that were in this trust. So it's very important to be able to get these documents in place, because you don't know when something like this is going to happen. You just don't want to be in that situation where you're worrying for the person's health and yet worrying about the finances at the same time. So
this is and it's so easy to take care of. One of the things we also, when it comes to estate planning, understanding if you've got a trust, maybe you got a wills or powers of attorney or trusts in the past. How old, when's the last time? I mean, is it 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? Might be a good time to have those reviewed. This is another area when we do. In fact, I'm going to throw this out there again. For the first 10 callers to my office this morning at 615-376-5325, we're going to have a special offer for you this week. In addition to when I talk about comprehensive planning, and I'm going to do a plan for you, retirement income analysis, it includes a whole comprehensive financial plan at no charge to you. All right, this is going to cover all the different things that, as far as Social Security, of course, your investment analysis, making sure you're not going to run out of money during retirement, and it's one of the biggest questions people ask. Can I retire and not have to worry about running out of money? That's one of the things we solve for you. I show you your financial future. We can do that with the information we gather, and estate planning is a big part of that. Russ has been gracious enough to also offer to do a consultation with us in this one, so you can get the two of us together in this. If you'd like to come in and have your estate planning documents reviewed and see if they're, do they need to be updated? Are there some other things? I can't tell you how many times I've run into a situation where I've read through documents and had a conversation with the clients, and what they think they have and what they actually have are two different things. They say, well, that's what we said we wanted this. And I'm like, well, somewhere there's a communication gap, because in the time what you said to the attorney that did your documents and what he actually took down didn't come out. Okay, so this is so important to get this done, but you want to make sure, if you've gone to the trouble of doing this, and if you haven't, that we want you to do that, that it in fact is going to do for you what you intended to do. So getting an estate planning review is going to be a part of that. So if you've got wills, if you've got trusts that you'd like to get reviewed, no charge to you. Russ will look over your documents. He'll give you some notes about the pros and cons of it. And that's the other thing. If it's a good document, he'll tell you it's a good document. There's nothing you need to do. But if there's some things there that may be improved upon, he'll also let you know about that, and then you can make a decision about what you want to do. All right? So that's a part of what we're doing this week. And we're going to get into some things about some of the benefits of that estate planning, and some of the things, in fact, that you'd want in a really good, strong estate plan to make sure you take care of yourself as well as that of your family. All right? We're going to get into that and more. Join us here. We'll be right back on the Retirement Report.